Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Friday Night Live. I'm your host, Kat Carter or Lady KC, whatever you want to call me is just fine. And the main purpose of our show is to inform, innovate, and inspire. Well, you know what today is. This is the final Friday of the month. This is the final Friday of the month. So you know what that means, don't you? All right, so it's our blowout Friday. So our price, our giveaway tonight is between $50 and $100. Oh my goodness! Who is going to be our special winner tonight? We're going to find out. Inquiry minds want to know. All right, so our encouragement corner. Let's look at our encouragement corner. What is the grace of God if it is not the love of God in action? Grace is the gentle, silent urging that lifts me when I feel down, assures me that I am not alone at any time, and gives me strength when I need it most. Grace instills me with the motivation to try something new and gives me the courage to not limit the results of my expectations of failure or success. The love of God washes over me, healing all superficial and deep-seated hurts, and I emerge a healthy and whole person, ready to live the life and share the love that God has so generously given me. The grace of God uplifts, heals, and strengthens me. Taken from the Daily Word, 365 days of love, inspiration, and guidance. Well, we have an awesome lineup tonight. I am just so excited. We have some amazing guests, saxophonist Aisha DuBose, and also business owner Jewell is in the house. So let me tell you a little bit about Aisha. She is a philanthropist, a promoter, and a motivator. She is very passionate about sharing the love of God through her unique musical expression. Aisha believes that one of her assignments in the earth is to release a clarion call as she produces a divine sound through her horn. This sound will ultimately remind people of their divine purpose and simultaneously give them a sense of peace and inner healing that only God can give. After embracing that music was part of her purpose, she has gracefully accepted numerous invites and opportunities to share her gift in a variety of venues across Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, and Mississippi. She has opened up for legendary artists and speakers such as Pastor Bill Winston, Ann Nesby, LaShawn Pace, Tremaine Hawkins, Beverly Crawford, Wes Morgan, Crystal Rucker, and she opened up for Donnie McClurkin at his VIP reception honoring his legacy. And she was also featured on the Bobby Jones Show as one of their new artists. Please welcome to Friday Night Live, saxophonist Aisha DuBose. girl. Now, how am I supposed to finish this interview after listening? I know that song, "Blessed and Highly Favored," but I felt it when you was playing the song. It could have been me. It should have been me. It would have been me if it wasn't for the blood. I said, my daughter's like, I'm about to throw a shoe into the computer. We're over here having a fit. Oh, woo!
It could have been me. Shoot,
Oh.
I meant that.
Yeah, I could tell. I felt that. And I could definitely relate. How are you, Aisha?
I'm doing great. Thank you for
Oh
having
my
me.
goodness, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Woo! Okay.
Look,
Okay, we can just say the benediction now. We don't really need to. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Okay. So we gotta try to get through these interview questions. Okay.
All right.
So how old were you and when did you realize that the saxophone was the instrument for you?
Okay, believe it or not, I started on the clarinet and I was in high school when I started the clarinet. Yes, I did not start the saxophone until late high school into college. I picked it up. My twin sister was actually playing the sax first. And
okay.
I was like, let me pick it up and see what I can do. And I was like, I should have picked this instrument all along. So it was about, like, I started playing clarinet at 12. And then things kind of cultivated from there. And then when I got into high school, late in college, that's when I discovered saxophone. It was it. This is the
Do you still play the clarinet sometimes, or you're just strictly saxophone?
Strictly saxophone right now, but I'm thinking about going back and exploring a little bit because I used to play that thing like it was a soprano sax.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I want to go back to it and explore that at the maturity I am in now. So
yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So how long have you been ministering, or when did you begin professionally playing the saxophone?
I would say for about like 10 years now, professionally.
Okay.
When I moved here from St. Louis to Memphis, that was when doors started opening up for me. The ministry I was attached to really opened a lot of doors for me. So I kind of felt like I needed to go ahead and step out. Now it's been like a year for full-time ministry since last year in March. So I'm excited about that journey. God has been sustaining me, making sure I'm booked, and just been opening tremendous doors for me. So I'm excited about that.
That's so awesome. When I was reading your bio and I found that you were featured on the Bobby Jones show. I mean, he's not on anymore, but that was like a real major show that we will watch. And to be featured as a new artist, oh my goodness, what was that like?
That was so exciting.
Oh my God.
You know, when you have small opportunities, you kind of picture them as small opportunities. You never know who is actually in that crowd. And I played in Arkansas, and one of his associates were there. And they asked me about if I was interested in performing on the show. So it was a small crowd, but big influences within the crowd. So, like, I mean, my mom always taught me, you don't matter who's in the crowd or how big the crowd is. You play like ain't nobody's business. I don't care. And that paid off in big ways for me.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay. So, you know, with the COVID-19 and kind of things have been kind of out of place a little bit. I know that you do a Sunday Facebook live show because I get a chance to check it out every once in a while. So it's called Happy Sundays. Tell us a little bit, and you play from your playlist. Tell us a little bit about that, and tell the viewers like when you're on so they can check you out.
Okay, first of all, my show is every other Sunday now because I'm doing like a live band edition. So it starts at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's just Happy Sundays Live. Right now I'm featuring live bands, and I'm playing along with them. My nephew is on the show sometimes. He's 3 years old. His name is Hunter Alexander. So
hey, Hunter!
I know. Yeah, he'll be on there when he feels like it. When he's not. We have other engagements, you know. But that show I started back when COVID first started, when it was the outbreak was just really intense. And I wanted to encourage people, so I started playing a few songs. And it just took off from there, and my viewership just really just expanded. Yeah, so great. And I just thank God for the platform. So lately, what I've been doing is trying to expose other musicians that I play with all the time, to that platform, because you just never know. And we put our cash apps up and people donate. We had a lady last week donate to all 5 of the musicians that were actually on the staff, and I thought that was great. You know,
that's awesome.
Right now,
That's awesome.
Sorry.
That's awesome.
Because right now we don't have a lot of opportunities that are opening because a lot of our bookings have been canceled. And so I thought it would be great to open up that platform for them as much as I can. So yeah.
So like when everything, I know, right? So like when everything gets back to normal, tell us what you do. I know you play at your church. You do what you play, like different kind of venues. Tell them like, do you play for parties? Do you do birthday parties? Tell them like kind of the things that you do, like where they can hire you to come and perform.
Okay, I do play for private parties. I do serenades now. I play.
You do serenades?
Yes, I do. I was a little bit nervous about starting off with that. When I did my first one, kind of broke the ice for everything. And I was like, yeah, I do serenades now, y'all. So serenades, birthday parties, weddings, funerals, whatever you could think of, that's what I'm playing for. So just call me and I'll be creative about it. I appreciate it. But right now, if you do call me, I'm just doing parties of like maybe 10 or less. Just into everything.
Yeah, the social distancing and just being safe. Yeah. So I have the Prophet Sound at live.com at the bottom of the screen if they want to get in contact with you. What other media platforms are you on? I know you're on Facebook, but where else can they find you?
Well, I'm on YouTube. Don't judge me. I do need to update, get some more subscribers. But you can find some of my videos on YouTube. I am on also Instagram. And I need to. But Facebook is the main platform that I use. And I do have a band page called Saxophonist, Aisha and the Prophetic Sound Band. That's my professional fan page, or I don't like to say fan, but
I know what you mean. Yeah.
That page. You can either message me on that page or my personal page. So
Okay. So tomorrow I saw, because I was lurking in your I was lurking trying to find out good stuff about you, because there's so many amazing projects that you've been involved in. And I came across that you're involved tomorrow, actually, Daughters Lives Matter. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's going to be a virtual daddy and daughter dance. It's similar to it's going to be like a dance competition between the fathers and daughters, and they're giving away cash prizes of $500, and but you have to like sit through the whole event. You register on Eventbrite, and I'll post a flyer later with a link to Eventbrite. But you can register for cash and prizes that they're giving away. But it's just to promote healthy relationships between daddy and daughters. I think like the beginning of that, if we had a strong father figure in our lives that prevents women from being in toxic relationships and things like that, because they have a standard before them, so they won't settle for anything. So I try to like make sure that I participate in things like that have purpose and meaning, and just not to play in anything. But I think this event is very meaningful, and it will set the stage for most of the fathers and daughters, because their youngest like 14, and they'll be actually dancing. So it's gonna be really cute. Really cute.
I believe it is. Is it going to be on Facebook Live? Or is it going to be Facebook Live?
Well, actually, they're going Zoom. So you have to register on Eventbrite, and then they'll give the information.
Okay.
They'll have the registration information on there. So it'll be Zoom.
Okay. One serious question. With the current climate that's like going on now in our country, what are your feelings or views as an African American woman living in the United States?
Yeah, that's a good question, and just something that it kind of changes as time goes. Just trying to determine what your position is, or what your assignment is. I would say in this time period, it's a terrible thing that's going on, but it's more so. I do not deny that it's a racial issue, but also it's a fight against good and evil. Yeah, and I feel like the more good that's presented, it would change things. And I also say this, just because evil is doing evil, that doesn't mean we are, as good people, should respond to them in evil ways. So we have to stand our ground so we can keep our strategy. So what I've been doing is seeking God about what is my assignment in this. No, I can't be out there protesting. That's not my assignment. I can't do some of the things that other people are doing. They're doing great things, but what is my assignment? I think it's important for us to be strategic in this time and see what our exact assignment is. My assignment right now, I feel like it's to spread hope through music. And a lot of people feel like, oh, okay, that must be the easy way out. But no, this is my assignment. This is what I was built to do. And so since I was built to do it, I'm going to be effective. So it's time out to just responding in anger. Yeah. Because when you respond in anger, it distorts your decision making. And so I think we all just need to take a seat back, seek God, and see what the strategy is so we can make a lasting impact for years. So maybe, possibly, we don't have to travel this way again, because we change things for good. We unite as a people and just get our heads together, not working against each other, just uniting as a people, getting our strategy together, getting our finances together, doing what we need to do strategically. And it would change. I believe it will change things. But hey, this is my view from here, and I'm being optimistic. But Christ is our only hope, and you see how he responded to when the accusations were against him. He responded in good ways, in spite of what was going on.
What's going on?
I think if we can tap into that part to respond and out of the goodness instead of like responding out of the anger, because it's not easy. I'm not saying that. It's easy. It's
exactly.
But I think it's just really important for us at this time and point is to be strategic. It's important
that's
for
good.
us to know what our purpose is, our assignment is, and operate out of that, because that's going to change things for us drastically.
That was good. That was really good. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet. I know you got some special people in your life that you want to give some special shout outs to. I don't know how long the list is, but you just go right ahead and give your shout outs, girl.
Okay, first, shout out to Miss Kathy for having me on your show. I really appreciate the opportunity. Shout out to your sister, sound person over there.
My daughter.
Shout out to my mom, my sisters, Abigail, Aisha, Sarah, my little nephew, Hunter. Shout out to my band members. Shout out to my pastor, Apostle Nesbitt. Shout out to my church members. Shout out to God for every opportunity that he's given me. And, hey, am I missing anything, Ty? All my brothers. Did I say my brothers? John,
no. You gotta tell us.
You said as many as I want.
Yes, as many as you want. Go ahead.
But yeah, I appreciate everybody that played a part in my life, that put up with me practicing in the middle of the night, squeaking and squonking and trying to put events together. I really appreciate it. My neighbor that's, next door right now. Shout out to her for putting up with this.
She probably over there clapping her hands and stumping her feet, and she just heard what we heard. She's probably over there stumping her feet. Yeah. Okay, so Aisha, what is your next selection going to be?
Okay, the next song is called More Than Anything. I love the Lord more than anything. If I had to choose between something that I really wanted and my purpose, something I really thought I wanted, I would choose God over anything, because my purpose is what I was called here to do. Here operating on earth is cool, but I have to return back to the Father when this is over. So I love God more than anything, and if I have to make that choice, it will be God first. So.
That is one of my favorite songs. I hope I can get through it, because I got to interview somebody else. Aisha, Aisha, I want to thank you so much. You are my first female artist on Friday Night Live. This just means so much to me. I want to thank you so much for, I'm sure there are other things you could have been doing this Friday, but you took time out to hang out with me, and I just really appreciate it. Blessings on your future endeavors. And we're going to do this again. I'm going to be calling you soon.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Blessing, Aisha. Okay, you. Ladies and gentlemen, Aisha DuBose.
Are you still standing?
Put it on, put it on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aisha.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Aisha DuBose. Did you all enjoy that? Oh my goodness. More than anything. That was awesome. I had an awesome time. My first female artist on Friday Night Live. Oh my goodness. That was awesome. Okay, so what are we going to do now, Cheryl? Oh, let's let them know what our Friday Night Live prize is tonight. So we're going to be giving away a gift card to Landry's. So you can go any one of those restaurants. They have Saltgrass, I think Bubble Gum. They have Morton's. There's quite a few that you can go to. Now, I do know that some places you're not able to dine in, but you can get it to go. Get it to go and use that gift card. All right. And I have to send a special shout out to my great grandmother who is listening right now. Hey, Grandma Minnie. Hey, great grandma. Yes, this is my grandma and this is my daughter's great grandma. I got it backwards. But this is my Grandma Minnie listening in. Love you, Grandma. All right, let's go to the business spotlight. All right, so we have Mr. Les Jewell in the house. He has been in the education field for over 15 years. He graduated at Harris Stowe State University with a bachelor's in education and Webster University with his master's in education technology. He is the host of a podcast known as Good Gurus, and they are nearing their first year anniversary, which is awesome. The podcast centers mostly around fellow educators, politics, sports, and entertainment. It's a family podcast, so don't be surprised if you tune in and you hear the children or spouses in the background. Les and his wife, they have three handsome sons, Avery, Preston, and Parker. And the Jewell family loves to travel, exercise, and host small gatherings. Please welcome to Friday Night Live, Mr. Les Jewell.
How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Les, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yes, it's awesome. Did you hear that saxophonist before you?
Yo,
Aisha DuBose. Did you hear that?
Yeah, she's amazing. Shout out to Miss Aisha DuBose. Incredible talent.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, the skills is on point for sure.
I know. So if I get tongue-tied to this interview, it's her fault because that was like amazing. I really had a good time with her.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what subjects do you teach, Les, and what subjects and what grades do you teach?
Yeah, so I've been in education for over 15 years, like you were saying earlier, and predominantly I've been working with middle school and high school in both public and private schools. And so I've been very fortunate to teach computer science and engineering and various other photography and videography classes. So lots of cool stuff. I've also had opportunities to run the school news, and I coach track and field and cross country.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your show. Like, how did it come to be? How did you all come up with the name Good Gurus?
So the show includes two other educators. Shout out to Brandon and Neil, as well as a local legend in the music industry. He goes by the name of Finsta. And from time to time, we have opportunities to have ladies on the show as well. So I want to shout out Hope as well as Tracy O and my wife as well. But we just really wanted to have a show that kind of came from the perspective of Black men, Black educators, overall, just to be able to show what we're thinking about in regards to some of the topics and scenarios that are going on right now in the real world. And so the show gives us a platform to be able to do that. And we have a good time going in. Sometimes the show is an hour, sometimes the show is an hour and a half. It depends on how things are flowing, but we have a good time.
You know, I can relate to that sometimes because I'm supposed to be an hour, but there have been a couple of times where I've kind of had to go over. It just depends on how the show is flowing.
Yes.
So I get that. So you all talk about politics, sports, entertainment, all of it?
Everything. So giving credit to the guys who are on the show with me, once again, Brandon and Neil can go in pretty hard when it comes to politics.
Okay.
And Brandon's pretty sharp when it comes to sports, football specifically. Neil's a baseball guy. Myself is a baseball guy. I love track and field, and I love basketball as well. And then Finsta is just a jack of all trades. He can pretty much nothing he can't
do it all.
Yeah, he can do it all. So we have a good time on the show. So if you get an opportunity, check out Good Gurus. We're featured on several different platforms.
Matter of fact, why don't you tell them the platforms where I think Cheryl is going to put it at the bottom too, but you can tell them what they can. Yeah,
no doubt. So we're featured on Apple Podcasts as well as Amazon and a slew of others. But the main two that you probably can easily find us on, obviously, is Apple Podcasts and Amazon. Anchor as well as another one. And we probably got about 9 episodes posted right now, but I got 2 that's coming up that'll be added shortly. And so that being said, those are just the more current shows. We probably record about once this summer. We've been trying to record once show every week. But obviously we're family folks. We got kids. All of us have kids, except one. And what that means is that we have responsibilities. We're all, and we all want to be able to give our wives the proper attention and respect that they need. And so we try to balance things out to the best of our ability to be able to have the fun and all that good stuff.
So what is the vision and purpose of your show, and why do you think the show is important during this time?
Right. So, the show is extremely important because I feel like sometimes there are not enough Black men at the forefront kind of giving their perspective in regards to how they feel about this. What you're going to get an opportunity to see on the show is get an insight on barbershop talk a little bit. And so some of that stuff may be, pretty real and uncut and straight to your face, but it's intended to be that way because we're trying to be able to give you a perspective that you normally won't be privy to.
Barbershop talk. I don't know nothing about that, but I guess. Well, I watched Barbershop, the movie. Is it like that?
Yeah. It's a lot like that. A lot like that. And just historically speaking, the barbershop has always been a place where a Black man has always felt like he can voice his opinion about whatever subject matter that you're talking about and not be looked at and judged because you have an opinion.
It's like a safe place where you can just okay.
Exactly. And now, that could be a plethora of many different topics. So it can go from politics to sports to, who had the best basketball team in high school to, whatever, family matters or whatever the case may be. And so it can cover a lot of different areas. And that's what we try to do on the show. We try to hit a little bit on everything. Lately, obviously, because of a lot of things that have been going on politically, and all of our protests have been going on for obvious reasons, and looking at things in regards to politics and all that. We've been hitting on that pretty hard in regards to the show. And the guys are just, they go in pretty well, and they do an excellent job of representing themselves. And so I'm just grateful to have brilliant brothers like that on the show. But it's got something for everybody. And it's always special when we have the ladies on, because the ladies' perspective is extremely essential. And so Hope has been on, Tracy's been on, Tracy O's been on twice. My wife's been on once or twice to kind of voice their opinion. And it's necessary because sometimes as men, we get comfortable in our own little zone, and, we're like, oh man, somebody come in and kind of shake things up a little bit differently, but it's necessary in order to see things in a different perspective.
What better person to shake things up than a woman?
That's right. That's right. No doubt.
So when is the podcast on? What day of the week and what time?
So usually we record on Sundays before COVID hit, but we switch things up now. We do recordings on Friday, and we're actually looking to make some adjustment to some things because before we were just recording, but now we're looking at getting into what you're doing, which is a fantastic platform, recording live.
Thank you.
And so we want to be able to take it to the next level and take advantage of the sponsors that are out there. I have been hit a couple of months ago in regards to sponsorship, but I didn't want to utilize the sponsors that hit me up because that's not a product that I utilize or I believe in. But going forward, I'm looking forward to other opportunities to have sponsors and go forward with perhaps putting this on another level so that we can grow the channel, grow the audience, and go from there.
Okay. So with the current climate that's going on right now in our nation, what are your views as an African American male, husband, father, and you have boys and living in the United States?
Yeah, I have 3 boys. You know, my oldest son, Avery, is in the Navy. I got a 12-year-old and I got a 2-year-old. And so at times I feel like, you know, we're being hunted. And it can be very stressful constantly thinking about how to protect the ones you love. It's extremely exhausting. And it seems at times policy isn't moving fast enough in order to do what we feel is necessary with being able to make sure that the ones that we love are protected. And that goes beyond, you know, just my sons. It goes everybody, you know, overall, just in general, give us the proper respect that we deserve. And so I just want to be a good role model for my boys. And I want to be able to reflect that so we can have generations of positivity, generations of positive father role models going forward. And so I'm thankful to be in the position that I am to have 3 sons, you know, it's a blessing. And to have a son as young as 2, my legacy will go on pretty far, you know, so I'm grateful for that. And so everybody doesn't get to have that type of thing, but more beyond just being able to have a legacy, just wanted to be able to be living in a country, in a place that values you and sees you as a human and doesn't treat you in a way in which just less than a dog. So, you know, I was thinking about this quote from James Baldwin that says to be Black in America is to be at constant rage. And what that meant is that, you know, to think about all the things that are going on in society is extremely stressful. It can make somebody snap. And so what do you do when you're in a situation like that? You know, you can pray, and I pray, and we go to church. Well, virtually go to church right now. And we talk to those who we can lean on, who we feel share the same sentiment. And I'm also moved by my white brothers and sisters, the allies out there who give a care about what's going on.
Of course,
And so, you know, if I was to name drop some of those folks, Greg Schnappmeyer for one person in particular, Matt Morgret, shout out to you guys. I've been seeing what you've been doing in your Facebook post, and I appreciate you standing up for what's right. You know, you don't have to do that.
Right, exactly.
You know, they're using, among many others, Natalie, shout out to Natalie as well. They're using their platform and connecting with people who they know and being able to show them that, hey, you need to consider this and look at this and see why, you know, there are signs out there that says Black Lives Matter. It's not about the fact that we don't think all lives matter, but right now, Black lives are the ones that are being exterminated. And so that's why we say Black Lives Matter. And so that's what it's all about. We're trying to move forward and try to create a better environment for our children going forward down the road. And if that means that I have to continue to protest and vote in certain ways in which to get individuals into position so that some policy changes can be made significantly in order to try to end this systematic racism culture that we live in, then that's what I'll do.
Well, you answered my last question, because I was going to ask you, what are some of the steps you feel that we can do to promote change in America? And I know you said vote.
Absolutely.
I heard that. Can you think of anything else?
Well, you know, voting and volunteering and being involved with someone's campaign or movement. And, you know, like I said, it's going to be different than what you're used to.
Right.
But you need to make sure that during this age of COVID that you go through the proper steps in order to make sure you're safe. So wear your face mask, bring your gloves if you really want to go that next step. You know, have some hand sanitizers or some Clorox wipes if you can find any in these stores in order to make sure that you're safe, but still be out there and be active. My wife and I in the past have been involved in many campaigns in the past. And so what that means is that we were out picking up folks, getting them to the polls to make sure they had a ride. And, you know, we were knocking on doors and things of that nature. And so, you know, it's essential to get out here and do what is necessary in order to hopefully make the change that you want to see.
That's awesome. Okay, so finally, I know you already gave a few shout outs, but I'm going to be quiet. I know there's some special people in your life that you want to give some special shout outs to, so go right ahead.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the guys who are part of my podcast. Obviously, shout out to Brandon, Neil, and Finsta. It wouldn't be Good Grooves without you, obviously. as well as all the special guests that have been on in the past, Tracy O, Q45, Hope, obviously my wife, and kids, because sometimes you hear them in the background. Like I said before, it's a family podcast, and you will hear a couple of kids hooping and hollering in the background for various reasons. But just want to give a shout out to my brothers and sisters. I have many on both sides, from my mom's batch to my dad's batch, in addition to just all the good folks out there who are trying to fight the good fight and trying to make some significant change in this world that we live in.
Well, Les, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us on Friday Night Live. I know there's some other things you could be doing right now. Well, right. Probably with the boys or playing games or whatever. But I just really appreciate but I really appreciate you taking a little time and talking to us and giving us your views about what's going on in the country, and also telling us about your podcast, Good Gurus. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. It's really awesome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Shout out to the bros. I almost forgot. A5.
Alpha Phi Alpha. All right. Take care. Blessings to your future, and best wishes as you take your show to the next level.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Peace. All right. Take care. All right. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Did you all enjoy Mr. Les Jewell of the podcast Good Gurus? You all make sure you all check him out on Apple and Amazon. All right. That was awesome. So, Cheryl, so we had a pretty cool lineup tonight, didn't we?
Yes.
I know. Aisha took us to church, and then Les gave us some really good views from a male perspective, African-American male living in the country, and telling us about his podcast. It sounds like they touch on some pretty good subjects on that podcast. So, do we have a winner yet for the Friday Night Live blowout?
Yes,
we do. Okay. Well,
our winner today is drum roll, Mrs. Virginia Mobley.
Virginia Mobley, yay! Congratulations, Virginia. Congratulations. What did she win? Show what she won. Oh my goodness.
What did she win?
Oh my goodness, that is so awesome.
Bam.
Ooh. Virginia Mobley, can I go to lunch with you? That is awesome. That is awesome. All right, so let's get some accolades, and then let's do some shout outs. We got a little time. Let's get some Cheryl shout outs. Cheryl shout outs. There it is. There is the heart right there. I know you got quite a few people you want to give some shout outs to. All right.
Yes, I do. Let's see. I wanted to say, first off, congratulations to Virginia again.
Can you put me back on the screen, please? Oh. I know you want everybody to see your heart.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. My goodness. Drama in the studio.
Okay, go ahead, Cheryl.
All right. Hey, Miss Deborah Pitts.
Hey, Deb.
Oh, I'm not loading.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties.
Are the
We got Miss Virginia Mobley. Hey, girl.
Congratulations, Virginia.
Hey, Auntie Ada.
Hi, Auntie Ada.
We got Miss Sarah DuBose.
Hey, I believe that is Aisha's mom. Hey, Mother DuBose.
We got Deborah Pitts.
Hi, Sister Deb.
We got Sister Linda Moffitt.
Hi, Sister Linda. Thanks for tuning in.
We got Lady Crawl.
Hey, Sister Jackson. Thanks for tuning in.
Miss Tina Wilson.
Hey, Tina. Thanks for tuning in. That's awesome.
Yeah, Miss Earlsine. Good to see you again.
Miss Gerald.
Miss Gerald.
Hi, Miss Gerald. Miss Gerald is when I was little and I was going to church. We were at church all the time. But Miss Gerald was my Sunday school teacher.
No.
Yeah, she was
my
my Sunday school teacher. I love Miss Gerald. Miss Gerald. We used to do this thing during Sunday school where she would say present arms, and we had to hold our Bibles up, and she'll say a scripture, and then the first person that found the scripture and read it, they were the winner. So we'd be trying to rush and try to find the scriptures. But it was a game back then to us, but it helped me learn where the books of the Bible were and things like that. I didn't know she was during the game she was actually teaching us.
Right.
Who else you got on there?
We got Miss Yolanda Cheeseboro.
Hey, Yolanda Cheeseboro.
We got Miss K Demetrius.
Hi, K Demetrius. Thanks for tuning in.
BJ White.
Hi, BJ White. Wade? BJ Wade?
No, BJ White.
Oh, BJ White. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, BJ.
Mr. Ricky Felix.
God bless you, Ricky Felix. Thanks for tuning in.
We got a Walter D. Williams.
Walter Williams. Hey, Brother Walt. Thanks for tuning in.
That looks about it.
All right. So we got them all in. Okay. Let's give our accolades. I want to thank Aisha DuBose. Oh my goodness. That was awesome. If you all didn't hear her blowing that horn at the beginning of the 7 o'clock hour, y'all need to rewind this and go on ahead and listen to her. She'll take you right on in. I almost went on in. I almost could not finish this show. It was awesome. It was amazing. My first female artist on Friday Night Live, Cheryl. Isn't that awesome?
She's amazing.
Oh my gosh, she was awesome. Okay, and I also want to say thank you to Les Jewell, educator Les Jewell, who has a podcast known as Good Gurus. You all make sure you all check Brother Les Jewell out. All right, thanks Les for tuning in. Also want to congratulate our winners for tonight. Virginia Mobley, I'm going to go to lunch with you. All right, and who else we got? Credits? Oh, okay, they've got to put our credits up there. Is my grandmother still listening? Put my grandmother up there. Hey, Grandma. Y'all can tell that's my grandma. We got the same nose. Let's see. That's my grandma. Hey, Grandma. Love you, Grandma. All right. Okay, so what time is it, Cheryl?
It is 7:51.
It's 7:51. We finished a little early.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, what we going to do?
Okay.
We going to let them go early today?
I mean, we can.
Okay, we'll let them go early today. Okay, you guys have a safe weekend. And we will see you next week. I have coming next week. Let me see. Next week, I have Nelson Garcia coming in. And also Brother George. I don't know what his last name is. I got to find that out. But we have an awesome life. Nelson Garcia. He's actually a saxophonist. You all are going to enjoy him. All right. You guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you this time next Friday. Same time, same station. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.